Someone just declared war on Rhaenyra and they did not use a single dragon to do it. House of the Dragon dropped one of the most chilling endings this show has ever given us. And if you blinked, you missed about six things that are going to matter a lot in the next three episodes. I'm talking about Hidden Symbol, a board game that's basically a war plan in disguise, a Dornish princess from 200 years ago who became the most important character in the story, a secret passage that leads nowhere good, and a scene at the very end that's basically a recreation of the Last Supper written in blood. So let's get into it. Every detail, every Easter egg, every hidden layer. This is your complete breakdown of House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 5. We open on Ormond Hightower sitting with young Darren and they're playing a board game. Now, if you are a book reader, you already know what this is. It's called Sivas, a strategy game from the world of Westeros that's basically chess on steroids. But here's the thing, this is not just a scene of mentor and a young princess playing games. Every single thing Ormond says in this scene is a blueprint for what he's actually doing in this war. He tells Darren the story of Maria Martell, and this is one of the episode's biggest hidden details, so pay close attention. Maria Martell was the Princess of Dawn roughly 80 years before this story takes place. She was old, nearly blind, almost completely bald. People called her the Yellow Toad of Dawn. Not exactly an inspiring figure, right? But when Aegon the Conqueror came with his dragons and tried to take Dawn, Maria did not fight him head on. You can't fight a dragon head on. Instead, she pretended to submit. She bent the knee, she played nice, and the moment the Targaryens relaxed and thought they had won, she struck from the shadow. Those poise, poison, and patience. The Targaryens never fully conquered Dawn, and Maria is the reason why. Now, why is Ormond telling this story right now? Because that's exactly what he just did. Remember earlier in this season when Ormond appeared to bend the knee to Daemon when he handed over someone claiming to be Darren? That was a performance, a Maria Martell move. He never actually surrendered. He bought himself time, pulled his real army to tumble, and started building his actual plan. And his plan is terrifying. Instead of attacking Rhaenyra's army, he is attacking her legitimacy, her confidence, her people's trust in her. Ormond has been minting gold coins, actual currency with Terran's face on them. Think about what that means. Coins are not just money in the medieval world. Coins are propaganda. They are a statement. Every time someone in King's Landing finds one of those coins, they are being told there's another king. Rhaenyra is not the only option. Ormond even says it loud to Darren. Kings don't become kings because they have dragons or royal blood. They become kings because enough people believe they already are. That line alone tells you everything about Ormond's strategy. He's not trying to take the throne through battle, at least not yet. He's trying to take it through belief. And to make that belief spread faster, he's also got people on the ground in King's Landing, killing Rhaenyra's soldiers and leaving those coins behind as calling cards. Back in King's Landing, members of the Gold Cloaks, Rhaenyra's stewards are turning up dead, not just dead, mutilated actually. Their bowels cut out, their bodies posed left in the streets like messages. Rhaenyra and Daemon are trying to figure out if this is one person or money, and that uncertainty is the whole point. Ormond does not want them to find out easily. He wants them paranoid. He wants them looking over their shoulders. He wants Rhaenyra asking herself, who else in this city is against me? Daemon eventually catches one of the killers, and when they interrogate him, he gives up the truth. He was hired by someone working in Darren's name and hidden in his boot one of those gold coins. Daemon takes the coin straight to Rhaenyra and throws it down like a gauntlet. Translation, that means we have a new problem, and it's a big one. Now for the ending, and this is why the episode goes from really good to genuinely good. Damon goes back to the City Watch barracks looking for Sir Luther Largent, one of his most trusted men. What he finds instead is a scene straight out of a nightmare. Sir Luther, his whole company, every single one of them dead, seated around a table like they are at a dinner, eyes plucked out, bodies posed deliberately, and written across the wall behind them in blood, a feast for traitors. Now here's the thing people are missing. This is not a threat, it's art. Whoever staged this scene spent time on it. They arranged the bodies carefully. They wrote on the wall. They wanted this to look like something. And what does it look like? It looks like the Last Supper. 12 figures seated at a long table, one at the center. The imagery is almost certainly deliberate: betrayal, loyalty, sacrifice, and a meal that marks the end of something. The message is not just we killed your man, the message is we can reach inside your most secure places and destroy whoever you trust most, and you can't stop us. This is Ormond's work, and it lands exactly the way he intended. Earlier in the episode, Rhaenyra goes to the Sept and she confesses something to Daemon. She says she feels something working against her, something she can't see, she can't name, can't fight. She calls it something crouched, something formless. That line is the most important thing in the entire episode because that's exactly what Ormond is. He's not a dragon, he's not an army she can point to on a map. He's a shadow operation, a whisper campaign, coins in people's boots, and bodies at dinner tables. And Rhaenyra, for all her strength, doesn't know how to fight that. She is used to enemies she can burn. This is an enemy she can't see. Damon, for his part, keeps reminding her, burn Tumbleton, just burn it, one dragon, problem solved. But Rhaenyra keeps hesitating. That hesitation needs to be seen. Let's talk about what Alicent does in this episode because it might be the most quietly devastating moment of the entire season. Helena is pregnant. Alicent, terrified that the baby will be used as a weapon or a bargaining chip, secretly gets Monty from the Grand Maester, basically an abortion potion in this world. She wants Helena to take it, but Helena refuses. She knows the baby is likely a boy. She knows what that means in wartime, but she won't give him up. And then Mysaria shows up and demands to see what Orwell brought. In a split second, Ellison makes a decision. She claims the pregnancy is hers, not Helena's, and she drinks the moon tea herself, right there to prove it. Think about what that cost her physically and emotionally. She takes on her daughter's pain to protect her, and she does it without hesitation. Alison trades her necklace to a maid to help them escape. She and Helena dress as servants and try to slip out of the Red Keep, but Mysaria spots them because by now Mysaria has already figured out that it's Helena who is really pregnant, not Alicent. The confrontation is intense. Alicent tries her final political play. She warns Mysaria that Damon will eventually discard her too. She's trying to flip Mysaria against Rhaenyra. It doesn't work, not yet anyway. But here's a detail a lot of people missed. Helena finds a hidden passage behind the wall in their room. They go in, it leads somewhere, and then the door closes behind them and their light goes out. The episode leaves them in the dark literally. You can skip this part because we are going to discuss book spoilers. There's a brief moment in the garden where Alicent tells Helena to look out the window when she says she wants to go outside. Book readers know exactly why that moment lands differently. In the source material, in Fire and Blood, Helena dies by jumping from a window. The show is quietly setting that up. Every time Helena looks toward a window, it's a reminder of where her story is going. It's a heartbreaking if you know, and it's detail that's easy to miss if you don't. Out in the field, Krishnan Kul is leading a campaign against the rivermen. He's burning bridges, ambushing camps at night. It's working until it's not. The rivermen figure out his tactics and start using them against him. His horses are taken out by caltrops. These are small metal spikes hidden in the underbush, the kind of thing that's simple, cheap, and brutally effective. His army is now on foot in terrible weather with no way forward. Gawain Hightower tells him, let's go to Tumbleton, recoup, reinforce Ormond, and Cole says no. And in this moment, Cole gives the episode's most powerful speech. He says he's spent his whole life serving the Highborn, fighting their wars, dying for their causes, and he's not going to let them diminish him at the end. He's the realm's greatest warrior, and now he's going to die as such, unbowed, unbent, in an open battle, not in service to someone else's ambition, in his own glory. He hopes Alicent will hear the songs. Now here's the brutal irony for book readers, and it's one of the episode's best hidden jokes. In Fire and Blood, Kristen Cole dies fighting the Roman, but it's not a glorious death. It's not a song. He gets surrounded and cut down, and his head ends up on a spear. There's no epic last stand. The songs he's hoping for never get written. He just dies messily the way most soldiers do. The show is setting up a gap between Cole's fantasy of his death and the reality of what's coming, and the fact that he gives this beautiful soaring speech about dying gloriously right before that shows being deeply darkly funny about human delusion. Aemond is still at Harrenhal under the watch of Alice Rivers, and for the first time this season we see him genuinely scared. He wakes up from nightmares, visions of Aegon's burned face. Alice Rivers comforts him, and there is something almost maternal about the way she does it, which is fascinating given that she is the mysterious, possibly magical figure who nobody fully trusts. The real crisis comes from Aemon panics and thinks Vhagar has left him. And this is worth sitting with for a second. Aemon without Vhagar is not Aemon. He knows that. His entire identity, his power, his fearsome reputation, it all rests on that dragon. Without her, he is just a prince with one eye and a sword. But he eventually kills four men who showed up to try to claim the bounty on him. So physically he's recovering, but the psychological unraveling is real. And where Vhagar actually is, nobody knows. And did she fly off? Did Alice do something? That mystery is building towards something. Aegon is still dragging Larry Strong around, still obsessed with getting revenge that he spent his whole reign wallowing in mediocrity when he would have been building something. Ormond's plan is working. Here's the situation at the end of episode 5. Rhaenyra is on the Iron Throne, but she can't keep her soldiers alive. She can't pay them. Her small council is divided. Her hold on King's Landing is being actively eroded by someone she can't identify, using methods she does not know how to counter. Ormond has a legitimate claimant at Dumbleton. He has coins in circulation declaring that claimant king. He has operatives in the capital killing her people and leaving psychological psychological warfare behind. He has Kristen Cole and Darren's dragons still in play, and Rhaenyra is sitting in the sept talking to Daemon about formless shadows. The next 3 episodes are going to determine whether Rhaenyra can get ahead of this or whether Ormond has already won the most important battle, the one for people's belief. 3 things to watch for next week. 1. Will Rhaenyra finally give Daemon the order to burn Tumbleton? It's one move that could end this, but she keeps pulling back. Her hesitation is her weakness. 2. What happens with Aemond? He's recovered physically. He's not going to stay in Harrenhal and wherever Vhagar is. When that dragon and her rider reunite, everything changes. 3. Can Helena and Alicent actually get out? They found a passage, it closed on them, but Helena sees things before they happen. She knew Aemond was burning without fire before it happened. What does she know about their escape? Episode 6 drops July 26 on HBO. Something big is coming. And that's everything from episode 5 of House of the Dragon season 3, Unbowed and Unbanned. A title that describes every single character in this episode, each of them refusing to break even as they are being crushed. If you caught a detail I missed, drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you are watching this before episode 6, go back and rewatch the coin scene with Darren and Ormond. Because the thing Ormond says right before he loses his temper at the Saivas board, that's the line that tells you exactly what's about to happen next. Like the video if this helped, subscribe to US Cinephiles for the episode 6 breakdown the morning after it airs. See you then.